Hey folks, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name's Tanya, and today I want to share a recipe with you that will probably, if you're one of those people that has a recipe that calls for rice of any kind, like either a side dish or to actually uh, like something like stroganoff that's on a bed of rice, and you think, I don't want to make that, I don't want to deal with the rice because it bubbles over, it goes all over your stove, you have to keep an eye on it, you can't even leave the room. I'm going to change your life right now, because when I discovered this recipe, it was such a game changer. And I'm not even kidding when I say I started looking for recipes with rice in them, because this is so good and so easy. If your rice is just a filler to make your dishes go further, to extend your meals, this is going to be a game changer too, because I actually took I can't remember what it was, the main dish that I took this rice as a side dish to a friend of ours. They have a family of 6, and somebody was sick, and I took this to their house for them. And I called the husband later on, I think it was the wife that was sick. I called the husband later on and I said, is there anything else I can do? Can I fix another meal for you? Can I bring something? Can I pick up your laundry? Can I run errands for you? And of all things, he said, hey, that rice that you made with whatever it was I took, it could have been red beans and rice, I don't remember, but he said, can we have some more of that rice? Which I thought was so funny, because I think it's that good too. I just didn't know if anybody else thought it was that good. He said, I've never had rice that tasted that good. So again, this is going to change your life. You can leave the room. It takes, once you put it in the oven, now just prepping things, you're going to have to boil a mixture a little bit, pour it over the stuff, seal it with some parchment and some foil, stick it in the oven, walk off, and for 30 minutes, it doesn't matter if you're making a serving that makes, or a pot of it that makes 3 cups of it, or if you're making literally one that makes 25 cups, because we've made this for large groups. A friend of mine that does a lot of catering, we use this recipe and just multiplied it a lot for the amount we were going to be serving. And we had these giant pans, and every single time, as long as you follow the instructions before you get your rice in the pan, it takes 30 minutes in the oven. I don't care if you have a bathtub full of it, it takes 30 minutes. So this is going to change your life. Bear with me as I try to work with the camera and trying to show you everything, because I want to get it down as simple as I can, but I want to be sure and show you everything. So just bear with me as we muddle through this together. But I think this recipe is going to be a game changer. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks for tuning in, and stick with us. It's going to get better.
Okay, here we go on making our rice. I have a small saucepan. This is only going to make 3 cups. So my measurements for this, here is my bone broth. I made this on November the 24th. As you can see, I put a little O on there for organic. It's chicken bone broth. Just made this recently. So it's been in my garage refrigerator. And see how gelatinous it is? That's what happens when you make bone broth. If you make it right, it's kind of gelatinous. So this is between just a little over 1 3/4 cups. So I'm overdoing the amount of rice, because this recipe calls for 1 3/4 cups of broth. And let's get our 2 tablespoons. See, 2 tablespoons marked off. 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to pop it in there. We're going to turn it up on high. I'm going to put a lid on it just to keep the heat in, make it heat up a little bit more. So that's all we're going to put in that pan. This container will hold that amount. Sorry for shaking the camera around. So this is basmati rice. I buy organic basmati rice. I buy Lundgren Farms. It's supposed to have less arsenic than any of the other ones, and it's supposed to be pretty safe. So 1 cup, I did a little bit over a cup, like a heaping cup, just because I have a little bit more broth than 1 3/4 cups. We're going to put a teaspoon of salt in there. Easy enough. So what we're going to do is wait for this to boil, and I'll come right back when that's ready and show you the next step. Okay, so our oven has just beeped to tell us that it is hot enough. We have our butter and chicken broth at a rolling boil. Not just a little simmer, it's at a rolling boil. So I'm going to set my camera back over here. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So we have our rice and our salt here in this pan. This is an oven-proof pan. Don't put it in a decorative dish. You will learn a lesson off that. Can you tell I've done that once maybe? Okay, this is just some parchment that I've used for something else. Putting the parchment there because I don't like for the risk of aluminum foil touching something, touching the food. And I'm going to push that lid down in there kind of snugly. Tighten this all the way around as much as I can. All right, gonna put this in the oven and then I'll show you that it's in there. Okay, this is so clumsy. Okay, in the oven, it's set for 350 and we're gonna bake that for 30 minutes. And I'll let you see it when it comes out. Our rice is done, and I want you to be able to take a look at this. Okay, bear with me as I work the camera. I want you to see it from all angles. All that is just salt that's settled in there. Look at that. It's perfect all the way through. It's not dry, it's not mushy. Every grain is separate, and it stays this way even when it gets cooled. This is the perfect rice, guys. Okay, there's your rice. I'm gonna swing this around. I hope this is catching me. Watch for my next video. I'm gonna show you what to do with this rice to make something really good. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.